Hello everyone, it's Kayla with the Celebration Company. Today we're going to make an adorable little mixed media springy project. So I'm starting off with a little sign from Dollar Tree and I painted it white. I just did one coat of white just to kind of add a little bit of like a primer coat. Now I'm taking some old vintage papers. These are just all random, completely different things. I've got dictionary pages. I have an old check. I've got some tissue papers. I also have some sheet music, all the different things, and I just tore pieces and I'm just going to start Mod Podging pieces all over this. Now this little sign has a little bit of a frame on there and I'm actually just going right over that frame. I really like the dimension that it gives to this project. So we're just going to continue using Mod Podge and just placing torn pieces just kind of all over. Whatever feels right to you. You can use whatever you want or whatever you have on hand. You don't even have to use the vintage papers. You can even use just some scrapbook papers as well. You can also get vintage looking scrapbook papers on Amazon if you don't have any actual vintage ones. So just little pieces all over to completely cover the background. Now I've got some tissue paper here. This is tissue paper from the Dollar Tree and I'm just taking little pieces here and there and putting it on top so we create some layers here. This one's got a floral on it. This one here that I'm applying now has a little bit of a stripe that's kind of hard to see, and this one's kind of a craft tone. So we just put that all over. I did 3 pieces, and now I'm just going to take some Mod Podge and fold those pieces around the sides of the sign. Now I'm taking some watercolor paint, and this is just, again, to just add another layer of dimension, another layer of media to the sign. So I'm using some watercolor and some pink right now and just putting a few different color tones kind of on it, and I'm adding some green to the bottom to kind of give you that little hint of grass, and blue as well to the top to give you that sort of hint of sky. So just whatever feels right to you. You can do as much or as little watercolor as you want, but it just kind of adds color to the background. Now I'm taking some scrapbook papers here. All these scrapbook papers, or the majority of them that I'm using, are scrapbook papers from our website, thecelebrationco.com. There are some as well that are from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just cutting out a little petal shape, and I'll also cut out a little dome-like shape, and we're going to create a dome flower, I think is what I call it, or a cone flower, that's what it's called. And so I'm grabbing some green paint and I'm just going to paint a stem and 2 leaves, and then we'll use all of our little petals to create our flowers. So I'm just gonna, this is totally free-handed. It doesn't have to be perfect. The thing with this project is it's just supposed to look fun and dimensional, and it definitely does not have to look perfect. So I used 3 different colors here to kind of create a fun look. So now I'll just start Mod Podging our little petals on. As you can see, they're kind of long, slender petals, and I just used all different designs. I went with sort of a color scheme, kind of a pastel-y like color scheme, and I'm using just all different styles of paper and just gluing them on. Doing multiple layers. I'm starting with my bottom layer, and then I'm going to start working on top of that. And I've taken some of these petals and made them a little bit shorter and kind of cutting them down and making them skinnier, so that I can create that dome flower look. And after I get all of my petals on, then I'll take my little cone flower, the center of it, and I chose a yellow polka dot paper for that, and we'll just glue that right to the middle. This flower is super easy to make, but you could do any kind of flower that you want, whatever you feel comfortable with. Honestly, you could make anything. You don't even have to do a flower. So whatever you feel like you want to make, whether it's a bird or a house or anything, would be super cute for this. Now to add some whimsy to this, I'm going to take a permanent marker and I'm just outlining all of my petals, and going to put some black marker on my stem as well. So I'll do the center of the coneflower, and then I'm going to go in and just add a little bit to my stem to, again, just add a little definition and a little whimsy. Now I'm going through and just adding some doodling little things. So I'm doing some dots and some zigzags and just putting some random little things on there just to add a little element of fun to this sign. So now I'm just going to take and sand off all the excess around the bottom just to get rid of all that excess paper and clean it up a little bit. But I love the way this sign turned out. It's such a fun little project. There's so much that you can do with it. As you can see, I'm adding here a butterfly at the end, just a little added extra element. This is, I think, from Dollar Tree. And I'm watercoloring, putting watercolor on the wooden butterfly. And then I'll also go back in and add the black markings around the butterfly to just give it a little detail. And I'm just going to glue it on with hot glue. And that's really all there is to it. This is a super fun project. I hope you enjoyed it.